Welcome everyone to Banana Bread Trades. My name is Goose, and welcome back to another ES trade plan and recap where we're going to talk about the trades that we took today, the plan that we had yesterday, how we played it, and then as well as, looking forward to see if there's any more trades that we can take this week or what my plan is as far as taking any more trades. So let's hop right into this. Yesterday we talked about two possible shorts after the FOMC close. And those shorts were, I wanted to short underneath the prior day low, which was, I guess, Wednesday low, at about 50.37. And if we got under there and failed to reclaim and stay above, then I would take shorts down to this prior wicked area and, the bottom of this swing profile volume of 49.80. That would be our final target. And if we didn't get that and we floated up, the only other trade I had planned was taking a short from 50.81 down to the prior day low, which would have been that 50.37 level, and then holding some runners down to the 49.80 level. Those were the two trades we had planned. And then what happened Sunday night was right here. Let's click on this. What happened was we gapped up after we made the video, and then we just kind of slow grinded up all night long. And we didn't end up getting a trade in, all evening. I ended up setting a limit at 50.82, and I'll show all my trades here in a second. I set a limit at 50.82. We ended up getting filled overnight, and it was a really light limit. It was just a few MES, just because if we wicked that level overnight, I wanted to have a position on, had a wide stop of 10 points, so my stop would have been around 50.92. And you can see pre-market, we actually got pretty close. I almost got stopped out of that initial limit entry, but it was light, so it wouldn't have hurt that bad. And also, most of our targets are usually like 100 points or something like that. So, like I said, the risk-reward ratio is still okay if we get stopped on a few MES for 10 points. But what happened was we really wicked this 50.81 level really hard, but we could never stay above it. And then open happens. We wick it again, we can't stay above, and then we fall back below the 50.81 level, and I start adding to my short. I start adding really heavy. We made one more push up that got pretty scary, but again, failed right below. And when we failed below that third time, I really added heavy, and we took profit on the way down. First target is always an overnight gap. If we gap up or down overnight and we're fading back towards that gap is the first target that we're taking core off almost every single time, because the chances of reversal at a gap are pretty high. Like, the chance the gap gets filled is very, very high. And then the chances that we reverse at that gap is also very high. So, there's a reason we gapped up. We were very strong in that direction. And as you can see throughout the day, that was really the sentiment. So that's where we took our core off. We did hold some runners. We got our first set of runners out at prior day low, and this is where I was looking to actually add to my short. But what happened was we wicked that prior day low, immediately bought back above. And so that's kind of my thing with ES, is I want to see a level fail or be reclaimed and then fail to go back on the other side, whereas this one went back on the other side immediately. I was short from the 50.81 area. I had two runners left because I took off my core here, took off some runners here. Two runners left. We're short from up here. Okay, we're going to let, ES do its thing. I really expected this level to fail. And then we get down here to 49.80. It didn't, though. It caught a bid. And we ended up getting break even on our final two runners. And it ran, the rest of the day. So that was our trade. Let's go over here and look at, I have a picture of it here. This was the trade. As you can see, I got filled overnight. We wicked up. I added on the failure of staying above 50.81. And then after open, it wicked again and got a little scary, because at this point we were kind of heavy, but we left our stop in the same spot, failed to get back up again. And when we failed that time right here, got below opening range, I added really, really heavy. And here you can see we take profit on most of our contracts at that overnight gap. We took profit on that prior day low. And then our final two runners, they ended up getting break even, which I'm not mad about. Like, we got most of our core off, which, that was our main play. And especially those last few runners, those are just kind of lotto runners at that point, and they don't always work out. Sometimes they get stopped, and that's okay. So yeah, they got stopped. We ended up ripping the rest of the day. I didn't even consider longing, to be honest, because like I said, we were short from way up high, and I really expected that level to break, especially coming down and testing it so many times that we did. But it was a strong level, and if you look on SPY, that's also SPY 500. That's the level 500 on SPY. It's a very strong, powerful psych level, everything, right? So yeah, I wasn't really thinking about fading it, but probably, I guess, if you did, I'm really glad you caught that long. I didn't think we were going to buy back up, but we did. And that's okay. Post FOMC days are wild. And we got the main trade that we needed. We don't need to get every point of every move. So what's our plan now? Now that we have bought back up, all the way back up into the middle of this range, almost close to FOMC highs, what are we going to do now? So when you zoom out and look at this full volume profile here for the swing profile to the downside, we're right at this lower POC. We're at the POC of this down move. And I think if I remove this, no, it's not going to show it. But this is the POC of this entire swing down move, right? So, or at least the second half of this. So we're really at a target point right now, and we're in the middle of a range. So there's nothing to enter right now where we're at. And honestly, I don't know how much I want to play the range after how hard we have tested both sides. I think if we get up to 5150 again, most likely we break out. And if we come back down to 4041 again, most likely we break down. So my next play, and I don't think I'm going to get it tomorrow. I think we're probably going to have some rangy, choppy action, being as where we are in this, this swing profile and where we are in the range. I mean, we got quite a ways to go either way. I think we have kind of a rangy, choppy day, maybe leaning one direction or the other with like an afternoon move or something. Or maybe we move a lot overnight. Who knows? Either way, I don't think I'm going to get my setup tomorrow. So this is probably going to be more of a next week play. But either way, what I'm going to be looking for is I want to see us break above 5150. And if we break above 5150 and hold, I mean, overall, we're still in a downtrend. So I'm being cautious here. If we get above 5150 and hold, then I'll be looking to get long with target number one being 5185. I'm going to take mostly everything off there and then hold some runners for 5124 and then eventually that upper POC of 5254. Those are my three upper targets. And then to the downside, which is the bottom of this range, if we can get below 5043 and, that level's defended pretty hard. So I'm going to be cautious here. If we get below it and it really fails to reclaim, that's the big key here. It can't reclaim. If it fails to reclaim that 5043 level, then we're going to get short with our first target being 4980, which is just the middle of this kind of volume zone that we got going on here. It's the bottom of this swing down move. It's the bottom of this volume. We're going to take off most everything at 4980, and then we're going to be looking to hold runners to 4937 and all the way down to 4875, which I think would be the most amount that we would get in that move. I mean, it's not that much further down to 2022 2023 high, so maybe we try holding. But I mean, just in a given day, I mean, that's 100 points. That's a 100-point move right there. Just to get from, that 4980 all the way down to 4975. And that's not including, we're going to be short from up here. So maybe I'll try to swing it all the way down there, but most likely it's going to be really volatile. And I'm just going to take my profit along the way, hit my targets, and then plan for the next trade. So yeah, those are the two plays that we have. I don't think we get them tomorrow. Like I said, I think we have to wait. But yeah, that's okay. We had 3 really nice trades this week. We made plans for, we took 3 shorts this week. The first short, we got our first target, couldn't quite break out of here. The second short, we got this whole move. And then our third short, we got from 50.80 down to 50.37. So it was a really good week. We had 3 for 3 on our 3 trades. So I'm totally okay. That's plenty of trades in a week. We've been blessed with a lot of movement on ES. So I'm okay with, taking an easy Friday, waiting for this thing to set up, and then catching a move next week, whichever direction that wants to go. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments. Join Discord, follow me on Twitter. I post all of these trade plans on Twitter. I mean, this whole trade plan here from what I was doing, I mean, I wrote it up right here. If we break under today's low of 50.37, fail to recover, I'll be short targeting 49.80. And then I could also see myself short at 50.81 if we showed obvious resistance, which we did. And that's exactly what I did. And I also narrate pretty much everything I'm doing throughout the day. I'll talk about, you know, when I enter a trade, whatever my targets are, whenever I get in a trade, how I'm managing that trade, just kind of keeping a live update of whatever I'm doing. So feel free to follow me on Twitter. Join us on Discord. I talk about these all the time in Discord as well. I'll review my trades in Discord. We all kind of talk about our trades, everything that we're doing in there as well. Just posting everything in there. So feel free to join there. And as always as well, I'll put the link to this chart in the description below. So if you guys want to copy all my levels and everything, you have that as well. So thank you guys for watching. Please be safe tomorrow. I think it's going to be kind of a grindy, choppy day. And don't go into the weekend, you know, red. If things don't set up, then don't force anything. And we'll look forward to next week being awesome. We had Apple earnings today. Nothing really exciting. So yeah, I think next week will probably be set up for a really nice move. We'll just have to be patient for it. So yeah, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I'll recap all 3 trades that I took this week. We'll talk about the plans, how we traded all 3 trades. And yeah, that'll be our tomorrow video. But for now, we're just going to wait and see if our setup sets up. I don't think it will, but we'll be patient, wait and see. And yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow.